Hello everyone, myself Shikha. We have started a grammatics section and the first part of the types of speech noun we have started and discussed near about half of the types of noun in previous part of this section, and in this section we are going to cover the remaining types of the noun, that are material noun, singular noun, plural noun, possessive noun, and the words acting as a noun, that are pronouns and gerunds. So let's start. Material nouns, that refers to the material or substances from which things are made. Let's take the word cotton. Cotton is an adjective when used in cotton dress. However, cotton is a material noun when used to describe a crop. For example, we use cotton from a local farm in a t-shirt. So, as the name is suggesting, material means a type of substances, and when this substance is used to make something and the output that we are using, that is made of a particular substance, so that substance is called a material noun. Here is the example of cotton is given. Cotton is a type of crop out of which after finishing and processing we are going to use cotton in a form of cloth, in the form of t-shirts and dresses. But in fact the basic substance of that cloth and that dress is cotton, and cotton is a type of material noun. So a material noun is that which refers to a material or substances from which things are made, such as silver, gold, iron and cotton. So here you can see the example: glass, wheat, gold and gold. So these are the substances. Glass is made of glass, wheat is a type of crop, gold is made of a metal, and coal again is a type of material noun, out of which the finished form, the coal form, we are using as a fuel. Let's see from which sources can we get the material nouns. Some material nouns that we get from nature are water, air, silver, gold, iron, copper, sand, coal, rock, sunlight, rain, earth, salt. Now some of the material nouns that are provided by animals: egg, meat, honey, milk, silk, leather and wool. So out of these material nouns we made so many things. Now we came on the material nouns that are provided by plants, like cotton, food, oil, wood, jute, coffee, medicine, tea, rubber and perfume. Now some man-made material nouns are acid, alcohol, asphalt, brick, cement, butter, chalk, ghee, cheese, Dacron, ebony, enamel, felt, gelatin, paraffin and cloth. These material nouns are made by man. Now look at the use of material noun in some sentences, like cotton dresses are very cheap and comfortable. Cotton is a material noun here. My mom purchased a gold ring for me. Here gold is a material noun. I drink milk in the silver. Now here two material nouns are there in this sentence. One is milk and one is silver. My father has a shop of diamonds. Diamonds is material noun here. Calcium is a good mineral for health. Again, calcium is the material noun. Plastic is made up of many molecules of ethylene. Here, plastic is a material noun. There are many utensils in my kitchen made up of iron. Here, iron is a material noun. Taj Mahal is built using marbles. Marbles is the example of material noun. I drink milk daily in the night. Now, milk is a type of material noun. Most of the industries use fiber. Fiber is again the example of material noun. And the last example, in the ancient time, most of the kitchen utensils were made up of brass. Brass is a metal and metal comes in the material noun. Here comes singular and plural nouns. Now singular nouns related to one person or one item, and plural nouns related to more than one person or items. examples of singular noun like book, boy, man, girl, these are denoting that only one book is there, only one boy is there, only one man and girl, means denoting only one item in purse. Whereas the plural nouns are representing books, boys, man and girls, means a number of books, a number of boys and girls and a number of man. So the number increased in plural noun, and there is a single category, single person or thing in singular noun. When we are going to change or categorize the plural things, there are some rules that we have to follow when we are changing plural nouns from singular one. Okay, so here I'm going to discuss some of the rules of the plural nouns. Most of the noun adds s to form plural. That is it is known by everyone that when we are adding s in any of the singular noun, it is denoting a plural form of that noun. But nouns that end with sh, ch, x or z or s, that adds es. Okay, means all the words which are having the ending letter sh, ch, x or z or s, they are going to be changed as a plural after adding the letters es at the end of that word. Now noun end with the vowel plus y, okay, that is going to be changed as a s. Noun end with the consonant plus y, change y to the I and add es. So that will come as ies. Okay, means the word which is having a consonant plus y, that is going to change as ies at the end of the plural word. Nouns that end with f or fe changes f or fe to ves, means whatever the words is having the last letter as f or fe, that is going to be changed as ves, means at the place of f we are going to put ves. Noun ends with vowel plus o sound, that adds s, means at the end of any of the word vowel plus o sound is coming, then that is simply going to be changed in plural noun by adding s at the end of the word. And noun ends with the consonant plus o is going to be changed in the plural by adding es at the end of that word. I have discussed all the rules how to change singular to the plural. Now I am going to elaborate all type of rules one by one, so you are going to have the better understanding for each type of rule to change singular to plural. Okay, now first of the regular nouns, most singular nouns from the plural by adding s, means most of the singular nouns are there, we can change in plural form by just adding s at the end, like some of the examples has been given: boat, boats, house, houses, cat, cats, river, rivers. Now you can see, so these are the simple noun forms, and plural forms has been made just simply by adding s at the end of the word. Now a singular noun ending in s, x, z, ch, sh makes the plural by adding es. Now we are going to see some of the words which are ending out of these letters, like bus. Now you can see s has come at the end of the bus, so it is going to be changed in plural by adding es. So buses. Wish, it is coming sh. The digraph is coming, digraph is called the two letter sound that is giving the one sound. Okay, so wish, wish. Now sh has come, so sh will change in the plural by adding es, wishes, wishes. Next word is pitch. Now ch is coming at the end of this word, so again we are going to add es at the end, so it will come pitches. And the last word is box. X is coming at the end, and x is going to be changed in the plural form by adding es and at the end, so it will be boxes, boxes. Now next rule, a singular noun ending in consonant and then y makes a plural by dropping the y and adding ies. Now the words which are having consonant plus y at the end of word, they are going to be changed in plural by adding ies at the end of the word. Like here, PENNY. Now N is a consonant and Y is coming, so it will come PENN, and Y is going to be disappeared. We will drop by and we are going to add IES. So it is going to be pennies. Spy, again P is a consonant and Y is coming, and Y is going to be dropped when we are going to make its plural noun, and it is going to SPIES, that is spies. Baby, B again a consonant and plus Y, it will change in IES, babies. City, T consonant plus Y, it will come in IES, cities. Daisy, S consonant and Y, then it will come in DAISIES. After dropping Y, it will come daisies. Okay. Those were regular nouns which we have discussed right now. Now some of the irregular nouns, there are some irregular nouns plurals. The most common ones are listed below. Like irregular nouns means there are not particular letter according to the rules are coming. They are going to be changed in the plural form by adding or changing the letter in between of the words. Here you can see the example like woman. Woman, MAN, in the plural form we have changed it and say women, MEN. So we dropped A and placed E. MAN, man, and that has come in MEN, men. Child will changed in children. Tooth, after dropping double O, double E, that is teeth. Foot, double O will be dropped and double E will take place, then will become feet. Person will change in people. Leaf will change in leaves. Now F is dropped, and at the place of F we are going to add VES. So the words which are ending at the end of word and the letter is coming EF or just F, then F is going to be dropped, and at the place of F what will come? VES. So LEAF is going to be LEAVES. And mouse, the changed word, the plural form of mouse is mice. Now some nouns have the same form in the singular and the plural. Some of the nouns are there which we are going to take same in the singular as well as in plural. Like sheep will remain same in plural sense, that is sheep. Fish remain same in plural, fish. Deer will remain same, deer. Species remain same as species, and aircraft will remain same in the plural form, aircraft. Now after clarifying and explaining the rules, some of the example of irregular nouns in the singular and plural form I've given, I want to tell you that first is analysis, that will change in analysis. I will be dropped and E has come. Appendix will be appendices. Cactus is going to be changed in cacti. Child is again children. Crisis is going to be changed in crisis. Criterion is going to be changed in the plural form criteria. Curriculum is going to curricula. Datum is called data. Diagnosis, again diagnosis. Again we are going to drop I, and at the place of I, E will come. Die, dice. Fireman, firemen. Focus, foci. Foot, feet. Fungus is going to be fungi in plural noun. Goose is going to be geese in the plural noun. Louse is going to be lice, and again man is going to be men. So these were some irregular nouns. Some of the nouns are there singular and plural form. When you are going to change, you have to apply the rules, but some of the nouns are there you are going to be remember or learn them. There are no, means they are the exception out of the rules, means there are no rules apply in those nouns. You have to just learn them and keep them in your mind. Next is possessive nouns. Possessive nouns demonstrate ownership over something else. The best way to spot them is to look for an apostrophe. Here are some examples. Melissa's imagination ran wild as she daydreamed about a trip to Ireland. Ireland's landscape is truly breathtaking. The puppy's favorite toy is the squeaky newspaper. These nouns are demonstrating ownership, but they are also still person, place, or things. Now possessive, as the name is suggesting, possessive means possession, and possession means the ownership, the master, means you are owning something, you are the master of something. And how can we denote like this thing? By placing apostrophe s. So the identification of the possessive noun is very simple. If you are finding any place, name or thing that is the common base thing of the noun, and apostrophe is joined in that noun, in that place or name, then that will come in the category of possessive noun. Like in first example, Melissa's, here apostrophe s is coming, so it will come in possessive noun category. Ireland's, now Ireland is a place, but even then apostrophe after joining apostrophe s, it is not going to be Ireland or proper noun, it will come in the possessive noun category. Now puppies, puppies is a type of animal, a common noun, but after placing apostrophe s, the category from the common is changed to possessive. Fine. Now some of the example from singular to plural nouns of the possession, like my child's dog. Now the plural will be my children's dog. Now here are two concepts are going to be cleared. First is the possessive, and how we are going to be the possessive in the plural noun as well. So child's is the possessive noun here, and the plural noun of the child is children's. Next example, the men's work and the men's work. Here the singular possessive and the plural possessive. The mouse's cage, the mice's cage. Singular is mouses and plural is mices. The person's cloth, people's cloth. Persons is the singular possessive noun, and people's again denoting the plural possessive noun. Forming possessive noun. Possessive nouns can include both of the common nouns as well as the proper nouns. But how to make common or proper nouns in the possessive form? So in the singular nouns, when it is a common noun, add s. Okay, like dog's house, books, words, girls, dolls, birds, chicks, cars, engine, sister's room, Jim's pan, my mom's bag. So by simply adding apostrophe s, we are going to make the proper or common noun in the possessive noun. Now the plural nouns or plural possessive noun, if the noun is ending in s, then we have to add only apostrophe, again s will not come. Like boy's ball, here you can see the plural noun boys, it's already plural. So how to make it possessive? Just by adding apostrophe at the end, because already the s is coming at the end, so we are not going to add another s after apostrophe. We have to just place apostrophe after s. Next is table's legs. Now tables itself is a plural noun, itself s is coming, so at the end we are going to just add an apostrophe. Girl's hand, girls is already a plural noun, so by adding just apostrophe at the end of girls, it is going to become plural possessive nouns. Now if the noun is not ending in the s, then we have to add apostrophe and s. Like woman, woman is already the plural, but here s is not coming at the end, so we are going to make it possessive by adding apostrophe and s, so it will become woman's bag. Now children doll, now children obviously it's a plural noun itself, but s is not coming at the end, so we are going to add apostrophe s to make it possessive plural noun, so it will be children's doll. And next is men's shoes. Now man is again a plural form, but s is not coming at the end, so we are going to add apostrophe plus s, and it will become men's shoes. After discussing the types of noun, here are some words acting like nouns that are pronouns. Personal pronouns take the place of nouns when referring to people, places, or things, and therefore play the part of a noun in a sentence. They include I, you, he, she, it, and they. For example, Amy works at a flower shop. She enjoys her job. The Greeks invented democracy. They sought freedom and equality. Now some of the words we need to sometime drop and place new word at the place of that same word. Why? Because then a type of monotony has come, a type of awkwardness has come in the language, and at the place of the noun, what we can use? pronoun according to that particular noun. And which type of personal pronoun we can use for the places, for the people, and for the things, like I, you, he, she, it, and they. Now see the example. Emmy is a girl, so Emmy is the name, it's a proper noun. But when we are when we are talking about more thing regarding Emmy, we are going to use she, because in the both sentences, if we are using the name, like Emmy works at flower shop, Emmy enjoys her job, it is not looking nice, it is giving some awkward type of denotion to the language. So at the place of Emmy, which personal pronoun we can use? She. Because for girls, for the female, we are going to use the personal pronoun she. So here at the noun place, which word has taken the place of noun? She. In another example, the Greeks means the people of Greeks. Now here we are talking about the first sentence of the Greek. Again, the sentence is also about the Greeks only. But at the second sentence, we are not going to use the same noun, the Greeks. We are going to use they. So they has taken the place of the Greeks. So here you can see the word personal pronouns can take the place of proper or common noun according to the category. These pronouns take in other forms depending on the type of function they are performing in a sentence. When used to signify possession of another noun, pronouns take on their possessive form include mine, ours, hers, and theirs. Like example, Marily loves pepperoni pizza. The last slice of pizza is hers. When used, in this sentence, in this section, we are talking about the objective form of the pronouns. Means here we are talking about the subjective form of pronouns. Now in this sentence, we are showing the possession. Means possession. In the last part, I told you how to make the nouns in the possessive noun. Now at the place of the possessive noun, we can also place the pronouns of that particular noun. Like in this example, Marily loves pepperoni pizza. Now Marily is the name of a girl, she is loving pizza, and the last slice of pizza was of Marily. Means the last slice again, and instead of placing the name of the Marily, we place hers. Means the last slice was of hers. When used in as object of a preposition, pronoun takes on their objective case. Example includes him, her, me, us, and them. Now we have come on the objective form. First we have discussed subjective form, then we have discussed possessive form, and now we are discussing objective form. So the examples are: Jennifer is paying for the tickets. Give the money to her. Things don't look good for John and Ray. The police are on them. Now when we are showing the possession, then possession is going to shown by adding s. Now ours, hers, theirs, okay. But when we are talking about the objective case of the pronoun, we are just going to tell like him, her, me, us, and them. Now here we are talking about Jennifer, and in the second sentence again we are talking about Jennifer, but in objective form. So at the place of noun, instead of placing Jennifer, we have put her. And in the second sentence, John and Ray, two persons are there. So, and the second sentence also talking about John and Ray. So instead of again writing the name of John and Ray, we just put the objective form of the pronoun, that is them. Them will include both John and Ray. So in this section we have discussed the words of pronouns that we can place in at the place of noun: the subjective form of pronoun, the possessive form of pronouns, and the objective form of pronouns that can be used at the place of noun. If you got little confused from the previous concept, I'm going to clear that concept through the examples of how to use the pronouns form at the place of noun. So here I'm going to discuss the subject pronoun, object pronouns, and possessive pronouns. These all three types we are going to use at the place of noun according to the necessity of the sentence. So here for the first person, I will be used as a subject pronoun. the object pronoun of I will be me and the possessive pronoun of I will be mine. Second person in singular form, you. Objective pronoun is again you and possessive pronoun is yours. Third person, male. Subjective pronoun is he. Object pronouns is him and possessive pronoun is his. Third person, female. Subject pronoun is she. Object pronoun is her. Possessive pronoun is hers. Now third thing, it will come. Subject pronoun is it. Object pronoun again it, and possessive pronoun is not going to use for the third thing. Now first person in plural form, that is we as a subject pronoun. The object pronoun of we is us and possessive pronoun of we is ours. Now second person in plural form is again you and the object pronoun is again you and possessive pronoun is yours. So second person in the singular state and the plural state will remain same, you and yours. Now third person or any other thing in the plural form, so they will come at the subject pronoun. Object pronoun of they will them and possessive pronoun of they will be theirs. Now this table is going to be learned by you, only then you are going to clarify the concept in your mind, and when you are going to use these pronouns at the place of the nouns while you are doing the exercise, only then you are going to understand the concept how to use the pronoun at the place of nouns. Second word that can be used at the place of noun is gerunds. Gerunds are the verb that functions as noun. They are a little funny because at the first glance they appear to be as verb. In truth, they are acting as a noun. Here is an example. Do you mind by borrowing these shoes? In this sentence, mind is a verb and borrowing is a noun and direct object of the sentence. Anytime you spot a word ending in ing, pause and take a good look at the place in the sentence. So this concept is going to be very much new for some of the student, and some of the student has just listened to the word gerund very first time, but this is going to be taken as a verb, mistaken as a verb by most of the people, but in fact gerunds are the words which are used as a noun by placing ing at the end. Like here in this example, you can see, do you mind my borrowing these shoes? Now whoever is going to see after ing in the borrow, that person is definitely going to tell that this is a verb. But see, this is not a verb. Take a closer look on this sentence. The verb here used is mind. Mind is a verb and borrowing has come at this place as a gerund, and this has taken the place of noun. Now some more examples like this. I dislike working after 5 p.m. We enjoy hiking. She stopped working at 6 o'clock. She suggested going for a movie. Farah keeps talking about her problems. Now, one very good identification of the gerund, I am going to tell you that gerunds never come without ing. Means whatever the words is going to have ing form in its verb, that can be gerund. Now, I'm not saying that is going to be gerund. That can be. We have to see the sentence, the making of the sentence, how the sentence is made. Only then we have to find out that this word is going to be a gerund or a verb. Now here in the first example, I dislike. Now dislike is acting as a verb and working is acting as a activity. So gerund is going to show you an activity, and activity will come in the category of noun. So gerund is going to act at the place of noun. Now in the second example, we enjoy hiking. Enjoy is a verb, hiking is a gerund. In next example, stopped is acting as a verb and working is a type of activity and a gerund. Suggested in the next example is a verb and going is an activity in the form of gerund. Again, in the last example, keeps is acting as a verb and talking is acting as a gerund and it is a type of activity. More clarification about gerund. So gerund is a noun made from a verb by adding ing. Now simply you can say gerund is a type of noun, act as a noun when we add ing in a verb. Now some example can clarify the confusion, like running is good for your heart. Here running is an activity and act as a noun, and which type of noun is this? Gerund. He hates waking up early. Now hates is verb and waking is an activity that acts as a noun, and which type of noun is this? Gerund. What I dislike most is repeating myself. Now here don't confuse that repeating ing is there then it is a verb. No, dislike is acting like a verb and repeating is acting like a noun, that is an activity in the form of gerund. Again, next sentence, I saw Tom riding his bike. Now saw is acting as a verb and riding again an activity at the place of noun, it is in the form of gerund. I am interested in improving myself. So interested is a verb and improving is an activity at the place of noun in the form of gerund. She does not like your bossing her around. Does not like is acting like a verb and bossing is acting like a gerund. And what is a gerund? Noun. Now it is a type of, means it is a type of understanding concept. More and more exercise you are going to do, more and more speaking and conversing and practicing the exercising and with the language, the practice of the language, you are going to find out very easily the gerund. A simple thing I'm going to tell you, if you are have to identify the gerund, one thing is that there is ing will come definitely in the gerund. That verb will be, that word is going to have ing must at the end of the sentence, that is going to be gerund. And one thing, the identification that you can see, that there must be another verb. If you are going to be confused that this is a gerund or verb, then in that sentence there must be a verb, because without verb we cannot make a sentence. So if there is another verb present in the sentence, and if there is a word with ing is present in the same sentence, that word can be act as a gerund. So I hope the concept of the gerund is going to be clarified in your mind, because this is also a type of very much important, because sometimes we are going to use the gerund at the place of noun. So gerund is also a part of noun. After discussing the elaborative part of the types of noun, we are going to take a quick recap about the types of noun. First was a common noun, that is a non-specific category of people, places, things or ideas, like example man, city, religion, etc. Number two is proper noun, that was the specific category of people, places, things, like Albert Einstein, London, etc. Number three is abstract noun, something that you cannot perceive with your five senses, like belief, love, pride and happiness. Number four is concrete noun, something that you can perceive with your five senses, like apple, lion, eyes, flowers, etc. Number five is countable noun, that can be counted, like pencil, pencils, apple, apples, train, clock, etc. At number six came uncountable noun, that cannot be counted, like music, milk, food, water, snow, rice, etc. And number seven, we are going to place compound nouns. These are the nouns made up of two or more smaller words, like textbook, snowballs, seafood, sunflower. Now at number eight, we are having collective noun. These are referring to a group of things as one whole, like bunch, audience, flock, group, and family. At number 9, we are going to have singular noun that refer to one person and places things, like idea, like cat, dog, ship, monkey, hero, etc. And on number 10, we are having plural noun that is referring to more than one person, place, things or ideas, like dogs, cats, ships, babies, etc. So here we have completed with the first part of a speech, noun. That's it for now. We'll meet again.